Good evening. At least I think it's evening. And welcome to the Post Meridian Radio Players podcast. This is Detective Sergeant hot on the trail of Nick Scratch. Nick Scratch? And there's something about that name, combined with all this fire and brimstone around me. I'm not sure what it is. But I'll ponder the problem and report back to you on a future episode what I figured out. While I'm pondering, let's reach into the PMRP vault and see what we have for this week. Ha! A true classic, this one. It's the first act of Alice in Wonderland. Alice was written by one Lewis Carroll, mathematician at Oxford, believe it or not. He would often tell stories to the daughters of a family friend, and one of those daughters, a girl named Alice, suggested that Carroll write one particular story down, as she wanted it to be preserved. Thank goodness she did, as the resulting story is a classic of nonsense and whimsy. Even me, a hardened police officer, can't help but smile at the Cheshire Cat or the Mad Tea Party. Yeah, but let's not spoil the story, shall we? Let's join Alice as she heads down the rabbit hole in the PMRP's adaptation of Alice in Wonderland.
Hello. Thank you all for coming. My name is Charles Dodgson, but you might know me better by my other name, the one I use when I write poetry and stories. That name is Lewis Carroll. Tonight, I have a story for you. It is the story of a girl and her adventures in a very strange land. Her name, as you have no doubt guessed, is Alice. Listen now and come meet her. Feel free to close your eyes and imagine. We won't be offended. The story of Alice begins by a river during the hottest day in July. Alice, who was with her mother, began to get very tired of sitting on the riverbank and having nothing to do.
I'm getting very tired of sitting on the riverbank and having nothing to do.
Oh, Alice, you need to start acting more like an adult. Why don't you read one of your books?
I tried, but they had no pictures or conversations. What's the use of a book without pictures or conversations?
Someday you'll understand.
That's what you always say. But when does someday become today?
Why, tomorrow, of course. Now hush and read your book.
And so Alice began reading, as well as she could, for the hot day had made her very sleepy, when suddenly a white rabbit hopped close by.
Goodness, is that a rabbit?
Oh dear, oh dear.
Why, there's nothing very remarkable about that rabbit. His waistcoat looks quite ordinary, and his pocket watch looks just like Papa's.
I shall be late. Latest. I must hurry. Hurry.
Oh, he is darling, isn't he? But wait a moment. I've never seen a rabbit with a watch before, or a waistcoat. How very odd. Oh, but he's dropped his watch. Mr. Rabbit! Mr. Rabbit!
Later. Latest. Hurry. Whoop.
And there he goes, down that rabbit hole. It certainly is a large home for such a little thing as him. Oh, Mr. Rabbit! Mr. Rabbit! Quite dark. Perhaps if I peek in a bit, Whoa!
Either the rabbit hole was very deep or Alice fell very slowly, for she had plenty of time to look around and wonder.
Well, after this I shall think nothing of tumbling down the stairs.
It was too dark to see anything below, but when she looked round, she noticed the walls were lined with cupboards, stocked with jars labelled orange marmalade. She took down a jar from one of the shelves.
Empty? Who stocks a cupboard with empty marmalade jars?
Down she fell.
I must be getting somewhere near the centre of the earth by now. Let me see. That would be about 4,000 miles down, I think.
Alice had learnt this in school and thought this a very good opportunity to show off her knowledge, as there was no one about to listen. Outside of yourselves, of course.
Yes, that's about the right distance. But then I wonder what latitude or longitude I've got to.
Alice had no idea what latitude or longitude was, but thought they were grand words to say.
Dinah will miss me very much tonight when I don't come home for supper.
Dinah was the cat, in case you were wondering.
Oh Dinah, I wish you were down here with me. There are no mice here, I'm afraid, but you might catch a bat. But do cats eat bats? Do bats eat cats? Dinah, do cats eat... Oh!
Alice came crashing down upon a heap of dry leaves, and her fall was at last over.
Well, I seem to be in one piece at least, but where am I?
Oh, my ears and whiskers, how very late it's getting.
There's the rabbit! Oh, Mr. Rabbit! Mr. Rabbit!
The king, the queen, oh, my fur and whiskers, they'll have me executed as sure as ferrets are ferrets. Later, latest!
Mr. Rabbit! Oh, bother, I've lost him. However will I return his watch now? But hold a moment, whose house is this? W. Rabbit. Oh, it's Mr. Rabbit's house. Hello? No answer. Well, surely he won't mind if I let myself inside.
Alice found herself in a long hall with doors and windows all round. She made her way down one side and up the other, trying every door, but they were all locked.
Locked. Oh, he must be hiding behind one of these doors. But, oh, a glass table with a golden key. Surely that must open one of these doors. Dash it, the key doesn't fit anywhere. But wait, I didn't notice that door before. So tiny, like a door made for Dinah. Or a rabbit.
The key fit the lock, so Alice knelt down to open the tiny door and found that it led into the loveliest gardens you ever saw.
Oh, such bright flowers and lovely fountains. Perhaps I could fit through... No, I'm just too big. I can't even get my head through. Oh, has something new popped up on the table? A little bottle? That certainly wasn't there before. Drink me. Well, it's all very well to say drink me, but I'll look first and see whether it's also marked poison, for I have heard that if you drink from a bottle marked poison, it's almost certain to disagree with you sooner or later.
This bottle was not marked poison, so Alice ventured to taste it.
Oh, but this is very nice indeed. Sort of mixed flavour of cherry tart, custard, pineapple, roast turkey, toffee, and hot buttered toast. Mmm.
Indeed, it was so scrumptious that she very soon finished every last drop. But then Alice began to feel very odd.
My, but the world is getting very big. Or perhaps I'm just getting smaller? Yes, I'm absolutely tiny now. Now, where's the key for that little door? Oh, no. I left it on top of the table, and now the tabletop is all the way up there.
Alice could see the key quite plainly through the table's glass, but she soon learned that the table's legs were too slippery to climb. The poor girl sat down and cried.
Oh, stop it. There's no use crying like that.
Alice generally gave herself very good advice, though she very seldom followed it.
There must be something else around here to help me. And again, something that wasn't here before. A box, and inside, a cake. Eat me. Well, if it makes me grow larger, I can reach the key, and if it makes me grow smaller, I can creep under the door, so either way I'll get into the garden. Here goes. Oh.
It did make her grow, and grow.
Oh, now I'm much too large to go through the tiny door. Oh, I wish I hadn't eaten quite so much.
Still, Alice went on growing and growing.
This is becoming most uncomfortable. I'm almost out of room. Perhaps if I could put my arm here against the window and my foot up the chimney. There, that's all I can do.
Luckily for Alice, she grew no larger, but there seemed to be no chance of her ever getting out of the room again.
Oh, how I wish I hadn't gone down that rabbit hole. And yet, I used to just read fairy tales, and now here I am in the middle of one. There ought to be a book written about me. When I grow up, I'll write one. But I'm all grown up now. At least there's no room to grow up anymore.
I'm late! I'm late! Oh, wherever did I leave my watch?
Oh, it's the rabbit! Mr. Rabbit! Please, I'm stuck in your house!
Why is this door jammed?
Sorry, Mr. Rabbit, my elbow is pressed against the door.
If I can't get through the door, then perhaps I can get in by the window.
No, Mr. Rabbit, my other arm's there. Oh, he doesn't seem to hear me. Maybe if I wave at him.
Ah!
Oh, bother. There goes the window.
Pat! Pat! Where are you, you guinea pig, you baboon?
Right here, Mr. Rabbit, sir. Digging for apples, Your Honor.
Digging for apples, indeed. Here, come and help me.
Sorry.
Now, tell me, Pat, what is that blocking my window?
Oh, sure. It's an aurum, Your Honor.
Whoever saw an arm that size? Why, it fills the whole window pane.
Oh, sure does, Your Honor, but it's an aurum for all that.
Well, it's got no business being there. Get rid of it.
Oh, sure, I don't like it, Your Honor. Not at all. not at all, but I've never removed anything that size before.
Don't be a coward.
Maybe if I could just move a little.
Ah!
Oh, dear.
It's trying to get out.
What'll we do?
Oh, where's the ladder?
Why, I hadn't brung none. Bill's got the ladder today.
Bill, the ladder!
Yes, sir. Mr. Rabbit, sir.
Oh, here, Bill. Put it up at this corner.
Good. Now, who's to go down the chimney?
Oh, here, Bill. The master says you're to go down the chimney.
That I won't. Well, all right.
Oh, so Bill's got to come down the chimney, has he? Maybe I can kick some sense into that lizard. The fireplace is narrow, but I think I can kick a little.
There goes Bill.
Catch him by the hedge!
Oh, I'm dreadfully sorry. That was harder than I'd intended.
Oh, where am I?
Poor Bill.
Hold up his head.
Here's some brandy. How was it, old fellow?
I hardly know. Something comes at me out of the chimney like a jack in the box, and up I goes like a skyrocket.
So's you did, old fellow. So's you did.
Well, don't you worry. We've another plan. A barrow full will do to begin with, I think.
A barrow full? A barrow full of what? Why, is that a catapult?
Fire!
Oh, that hurt! You better not do that again!
Do it again!
Oh! What are they firing at me? Why, they're cakes! They're firing cakes! And if I've learnt anything today, I've learnt that if I eat a cake, it's sure to change my size.
So Alice nibbled one of the cakes and was delighted to begin shrinking again.
Oh, thank goodness! That's much better. Finally small enough to fit through the front door. Now, where's that rabbit? My, but it's a zoo out here. Is that a lizard? And I'd swear those are guinea pigs. The rabbit must be somewhere in that menagerie. Perhaps if I go and introduce myself.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Who said that?
Not who, me.
And who are you?
Not you. And if you introduce yourself to the rabbit, you won't be you much longer either.
If you'd only show yourself, then maybe I'd take your advice. But since you won't, since you're just a voice, I'm going to introduce myself.
Shoot yourself.
Oh, Mr. Rabbit! Mr. Rabbit!
There she is! Get her!
I would run if I were you.
I will!
The animals all made a rush at Alice, but she ran as fast as she could and soon found herself safe and alone in a thick forest.
That dreadful, dreadful rabbit! And all I wanted to do was return his watch. All right, Alice, take a moment and think. Think. If ever there was a moment to take your own advice, it's now. The first thing you've got to do is grow to your right size again. And the second thing is to find your way into that lovely garden. I think that would be the best plan. I suppose I ought to eat or drink something or other, but the question is, what?
Alice looked all round her, but she did not see anything to eat or drink. There was, however, a large mushroom, and when she stretched up on tiptoe to peep over the edge, her eyes immediately met those of a large caterpillar, sitting on top, quietly smoking a long hookah.
Who are you?
I hardly know just now, Mrs. Caterpillar, Mum. I knew who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have changed several times since then.
Explain yourself.
I can't, I'm afraid, because, you see, I'm not myself anymore.
No, I don't see.
Neither do I. Being so many different sizes in a day is very confusing.
It isn't.
Perhaps it doesn't seem confusing to you now, but when you turn into a butterfly, you will someday, I've read that. I think you'll find it rather disconcerting.
I won't. Who are you?
I think you ought to tell me who you are first.
Why?
I don't know. I'll leave you until I figure that out.
Wait, I have something important to say.
Yes?
Keep your temper.
Is that all?
No.
I wish she'd say something helpful.
What size do you want to be?
I should like to be a little larger. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be.
3 inches is a very good height. A very good height indeed.
Oh, it's spectacular. It's just that I didn't mean to offend.
You'll get used to it in time.
How much time?
Yes,
But
I have to go now. Just remember, one side will make you taller, and the other side will make you small.
one side of what? The other side of what?
Of the mushroom.
Your mushroom? But which side is which? Mrs. Caterpillar? Hello? She's gone. Perhaps she turned into a butterfly after all. Well, since I don't know which side is which, I'll just break off a piece of both sides. There. But which one to eat? My mother told me to pick the very best one. Well, I suppose I shall try this side. Oh, it's quite tasty. Whoa!
Alice's delight changed to alarm when she found, looking down, that all she could see was an immense length of her own neck, which seemed to rise like a flower stalk from the sea of forest below.
Oh no! My neck's grown so long I can't see my shoulders underneath the trees.
Alice quickly discovered that her neck would bend easily in any direction, like a snake. She was about to dive in among the leaves when a large pigeon flew into her face, beating her violently with its wings.
Serpent, 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 serpent! I'm not a serpent. Leave me alone.
That's just the sort of thing a serpent would say. Nowhere seems to avoid serpents.
What in heaven are you talking about?
I've tried tree roots, riverbanks, and hedges, but those serpents, there's just no avoiding them. It's enough trouble hatching eggs, but to be on the lookout day and night, I haven't slept in 3 weeks.
I'm very sorry to have bothered you.
I built a nest in the highest tree, and just as I was thinking free of serpents at last, what comes wriggling up from below? Hello, serpent. How can I help you? Will you be eating my children for lunch? Would that be pleasant? Would you perhaps like some tea and biscuits as an appetizer?
But I'm not a serpent, I tell you. I'm a...
Oh, look. The serpent's trying to invent something.
I'm a girl.
Ah, that's a good one. You could have worked a bit harder on it, honestly. Filled it out a bit more. So you claim not to be a serpent, but an average, everyday, unnecessarily large girl.
That's right.
And you've absolutely, positively never, ever, ever tasted an egg?
Well, I have tasted eggs, actually.
Huh!
But girls eat eggs as much as serpents do.
Right. You're a special girl kind of serpent, then, a girl pent. Well, girl pent, if you eat eggs, it doesn't matter what you are.
It matters to me. I'm not looking for eggs, and even if I were, I wouldn't want yours. I don't eat raw eggs. I eat them poached or scrambled or hard-boiled.
Right. Well, be off then and find some poached eggs. And leave me alone.
I will. Goodbye, Mrs. Pigeon.
Alice suddenly remembered that she still held the pieces of mushroom in her hands. She set to work very carefully, nibbling first at one and then at the other, growing sometimes taller and sometimes shorter, until she had succeeded in bringing herself down to her usual height. It was so long since she had been anything near the right size that it felt quite strange at first.
I've got back to my right size, so that's the first part of my plan. But I wonder how to get into that beautiful garden.
Oh, you shouldn't wonder.
Alice was a little startled to find a large cat sitting in a tree above her, grinning from ear to ear. The cat looked good-natured enough, but it had very long claws and a great many teeth, so she felt she ought to treat it with respect.
Oh, it's you! But this time you're more than a voice. You're a cat.
I can be just a voice if you like.
No, I think I prefer you this way. But tell me, Mr. Cat, why is your grin like that?
Because I'm a Cheshire cat. That's why.
All right, Cheshire Puss, would you please tell me which way I ought to go from here?
That depends a good deal on where you want to get to.
I don't much care where.
Well, it doesn't matter which way you go.
So long as I get somewhere.
Oh, you're sure to do that if you only walk long enough.
That's certainly true.
In that direction lives a hatter. And in that direction lives a March hare. Visit either one you like. They're both quite mad.
Oh, but I don't want to go among mad people.
Oh, you can't help that. We're all mad here. I'm mad, you're mad. Those four there, definitely mad. Woo! Cuckoo.
How do you know I'm mad?
Oh, you must be or you wouldn't have come here. Aren't you going to play croquet with the queen today?
The queen? The rabbit's queen? I should like it very much, but no one's invited me yet.
You'll see me there.
Mr. Cat? Oh, where did he go now? I really shouldn't be surprised. I'm getting used to strange things happening. Oh, you're back.
Yes. Tell me, what became of the caterpillar? I'd nearly forgotten to ask.
Oh, I'm not certain, but I think it turned into a butterfly.
I thought it would.
Gone again. Now, which way to go? Which way to go? The March Hare or the Mad Hatter? The Mad Hatter or the March Hare?
Hello again.
You again?
Me again. Now, did you say butter pie or butterfly?
I said butterfly, and I wish you wouldn't keep appearing and vanishing so suddenly.
All right. I'll disappear slowly.
It's not polite to leave your smile behind, you know. Well, I've seen a cat without a grin before, but never a grin without a cat. Now, which way to the March Hare's home?
Alice had not walked very far before she came to a very strange house.
What a very strange house. The chimneys are shaped like rabbit ears. I suppose the March Hare really could be raving mad after all.
In front of the house, there was a large table set out, where the March Hare and the Hatter were having tea. A dormouse was sitting between them, fast asleep.
Hello, may I join you?
No room, none, no.
Don't be silly, there's plenty of room.
Oh, very well. Since you've sat down already, why don't you have some wine?
I don't see any wine.
There isn't any. It's a tea party.
Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it.
Tell me, why is a raven like a writing desk?
I believe I can guess that.
Do you mean that you think you can find the answer?
Yes, exactly. Exactly so.
Oh, then you should say what you mean.
I do. At least, I mean what I say. It's the same thing, you know.
Not even a little bit. You might just as well say, I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
Or that I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like.
Or that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe.
It is the same thing for you, Dormouse.
Ravens and writing desks. Writing desks and ravens.
Let's try something easier. Do you have a watch?
Yes, but it's not my watch, it's the rabbit's.
And does the rabbit's watch tell you what year it is?
Of course not, but that's because it stays the same year for such a long time.
Which is just the case with mine. But my watch is 2 days wrong. I told you that you shouldn't butter the gears with a bread knife.
It was the very best butter.
Have you guessed my riddle yet?
No, I give up. Why is a raven like a writing desk?
I haven't the slightest idea.
I think you might do something better with the time than waste it in asking riddles that had no answers.
Oh, if you knew time as well as I do, you wouldn't talk about wasting him. Why, I dare say you've never even spoken to time.
Perhaps not, but I know I have to beat time when I learn music.
Ah, that accounts for it. He won't stand beating. Now, if you only kept on good terms with him, he'd do almost anything you liked. You'd only have to whisper a hint to time, and round goes the clock in a twinkling, 1:30 as long as you liked.
Is that the way you manage?
Not I. We quarrelled last March, just before the Archmay Erhe went mad, you know. It was at the great concert given by the Queen of Hearts, and I had to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Bat. You know the song, perhaps?
I've heard something like it.
Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Well, I'd hardly finished the first verse when the Queen jumped up and bawled out, "He's murdering the time! Off with his head!"
How dreadfully savage!
And ever since that, he won't do a thing I ask. It's always 6 o'clock now.
Is that the reason you've put so many tea things out here?
Yes, that's it. It's always tea time, and we've no time to wash things between.
You keep moving round, I suppose.
Exactly so, as the things get used up.
But what happens when you come to the beginning again?
Yawn. I'm getting bored with this, Alice. Take some more tea.
I've had nothing yet. I can't take more of nothing.
You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more of nothing.
Nobody asked your opinion.
I want a clean cup. Let's all move one space to the left.
There we go. Why don't you just move?
There we go. Oh, so much better.
Really now, I don't think...
Well, if you don't think, then you shouldn't talk.
Oh, that really is the last straw. Good day.
Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder where
That was the stupidest tea party I ever was at. Now, how can I find my way out of these woods? Perhaps those two might tell me.
The two were standing under a tree, each with an arm round the other's neck. Alice could tell which was which because while they both had the word Tweedle written on their collars, one of them had dumb embroidered and the other D. They stood so still that she quite forgot they were alive, and so she stared.
If you think we're waxworks, you ought to pay, you know. Contrary weren't made to be looked at for nothing, no how.
But if you think we're alive, you ought to speak. I'm very sorry. It's just, well, your names. I can't help but think of the old song. Tweedledum and Tweedledee agreed to have a battle, for Tweedledum said Tweedledee had spoiled his nice new rattle. Just then flew down a monstrous crow as black as a tar barrel, and frightened both the heroes so they quite forgot their quarrel.
It isn't so no-how. Well, contrariwise it might be, and if it were so it would be, but as it isn't, it ain't. That's logic.
Please tell me which is the best way out of these woods. It's getting quite dark, and I'd like to get to that lovely garden.
You're doing it wrong. The first thing in a visit is to say, how do you do, and shake hands.
Contrariwise, shake hands. But whose do I shake first? I don't want to hurt either of your feelings. Perhaps I'd best shake both at the same... Oh?
Here we go round the mulberry bush. The mulberry bush. The mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush so early in the morning. 4 times round is enough for one dance.
Contrary-wise, 3 was enough.
I hope you're not much tired.
Nohow, and thank you very much for asking.
Do you like poetry? Yes, some poetry.
Oh, what shall I recite to her? The walrus and the carpenter is the longest.
The longest?
The sun was
It
shining.
was very long. Would you first please tell me which
The sun was shining on the sea, shining before his might. And this was odd, because it was the middle of the night. The walrus and the carpenter were walking close at hand.
Oh, oysters!
Said the walrus true.
Come join us on the sand.
4 young oysters hurried up, their shoes all clean and neat. And this was odd, because, you know, they hadn't any feet. 4 other oysters followed them, and yet another 4. And thick and fast they came at last. And more, and more, and more. The walrus and the carpenter walked on a mile or so, and then they rested on a rock conveniently low.
The time has come
The walrus said,
to talk of many things.
Of shoes.
And ships.
And sealing wax.
Of cabbages.
And kings.
And why the sea is boiling hot.
And whether pigs have wings.
But wait a bit, the oysters cried.
Before we have our chat, for some of us are out of breath.
And all of us are fat.
No hurry.
Said the carpenter. They thanked him much for that.
A loaf of bread
The walrus said,
is what we chiefly need. Pepper and vinegar besides are very good indeed. Now if you're ready, oysters dear, we can begin to feed.
But not on us.
The oysters cried, turning a little blue.
After such kindness, that would be a dismal thing to do.
I weep for
The
you.
walrus said.
I deeply sympathize.
With sobs and tears, he sorted out those of the largest size, holding his pocket handkerchief before his streaming eyes.
Oh, oysters.
Said the carpenter.
You've had a pleasant run. Shall we be trotting home again?
But answer came there none. And that was scarcely odd, because they'd eaten every one.
I like the walrus best because he was a little sorry for the poor oysters.
But he ate more than the carpenter. He held his handkerchief in front, so that the carpenter couldn't count how many he ate.
That was mean. Then I like the carpenter best.
Well, but the carpenter ate as many as he could get.
Then they were both very unpleasant characters.
Wait! Do you see that?
What, that old rattle lying under the tree?
But it isn't old, it's new, I tell you. I bought it yesterday. My nice new rattle!
Please stop screaming.
You agree, of course, to have a battle? I suppose so. Only she must help us to dress up. Gather the bolsters, blankets, hearthrugs, tablecloths, dish covers, saucepans, forks, spoons, pillows, and coal scuttles. I hope you've a good hand at tying strings.
Why?
Well, because every one of these things has got to go on somehow or other.
Really, you'll be more like bundles of old clothes than anything else by the time you're ready.
Tie the bolster around my neck. It'll keep my head from being cut off. It's one of the most serious things that can happen to you in a battle. Getting your head cut off.
I've never seen such a fuss made about anything in all my life.
Tie my helmet on.
That's not a helmet, it's a saucepan.
I'm generally very brave. Only today I have a headache. I've got a toothache! I'm much worse off than you.
Then you'd better not fight today.
We must have a bit of a fight, but I don't want it going on too long. Let's fight till 6 and then have dinner. Oh, very well. She can watch us. Only you better not come very close. I generally hit everything I can see when I get really excited. And I hit everything within reach, whether I can see it or not.
All this about a rattle.
There's only one sword, you know, but you can have the umbrella. It's quite a sharp. Only we must be getting quick. It's getting as dark as it can.
And darker? My, but it's getting so dark so quickly, like a shadow thrown over everything.
It's the crow. Contrary-wise, it's not the crow. It's the Red Queen!
The Queen? with her?
The two took to their heels and were out of sight in an instant, leaving Alice alone. I believe that's a good place to stop our story. Temporarily, as I find myself quite parched. But come back in 15 minutes and I will continue my tale as Alice at last meets the Red Queen, dances the lobster quadrille, and maybe even battles the Jabberwock. See you all back here in 15 minutes' time.
Well, Alice has gotten herself into a real pickle, hasn't she? I'd be shaking in my boots if I was facing the Red Queen, and I face murderers without breaking a sweat. We'll see how Alice gets herself out of trouble next episode. If you like what you hear, you can check out more about the PMRP at their website, pmrp.org, or their Bandcamp store, pmrp.bandcamp.com. This is Detective Sergeant signing off, and, by Jove, I'll always be on the case.
This has been a production of the Post Meridian Radio Players, copyright 2024. All rights reserved. For more information about our group, please visit www.pmrp.org.